Hello my friends and welcome to part 4 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel solo mode deck overviews video where I go over the solo mode decks, kind of my thoughts on them, do a little bit of analysis on them. I'm gonna try to be quick though because I don't want to spend a lot of time on these. So this one is called Power of Fellowship. It's basically a junk deck, and what its main focus is to go into your synchro plays as quickly as possible and go into bigger and bigger ones through the use of junk speeder. So you basically want to focus on bringing out junk speeder as soon as possible, and you basically accomplish that by by making sure you have Junk Synchron with a level 2 monster in your grave. And Junk Converter is really nice for that because you discard this card along with a tuner, and then you can ensure that you have a level 2 in your grave because you can just search Junk Synchron with it. And then also tuning is another way to add your Junk Synchron as well. You don't necessarily need to go into speeder with the Junk Synchron though. You can do it with other monsters as well. Like for example, if you have Jet Synchron, you can also bring out a level 4 junk guy. You can special summon Junk Servant while you have Jet Synchro on the field, and then that's another way you can go into the speeder as well. But yeah, that's pretty much your main focus of this deck. You want to try to find ways of being able to go into your junk speeder. But even if you can't, you have other synchros you can go into. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically a main purpose of the deck here. Try to get out monsters as quickly as possible. Even just being able to special summon monsters so you can easily get one in the field and then put out another, and then you can use both of those for a synchro play. And then the tuning is meant to help facilitate you getting to the monsters that can special summon themselves. And then some of these other cards are meant to act as basically the ways of getting cards off your opponent's field, or negating their stuff, so you can ensure that you can keep your synchros on the field, or maybe so you can better ensure that you're able to go for your synchro summon plays during your opponent's turn, utilizing some of the synchros that can do that. So yeah, that's basically what this deck is about. Again, I'm just gonna go quick, but I'll also scroll through these so you can get a better look at the effects. Yeah, Junk Synchron is probably the best one to easily get you into your junk speeder play, since it can special summon a monster from a graveyard, and since it's a level 2, you can it's a guarantee that you're going to speeder if that's a non-tuner that you're special summoning. And then he has all the synchros too. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So here's the opponent's deck. What this deck is basically focusing on, this is another one that's focusing on going into synchro plays. but it's also like basically it's more focusing on like trying to go into your power tool dragon mostly. The mecha dragon I think is a little bit worse because you actually need, because it doesn't search for your equip spells, even though it does draw you cards. It's a nice alternative if you already have like a whole bunch of your equip spells. You can always pick going into this instead. But yeah, and then like these morphtronics are, a few of these are basically act as being able to like special summon stuff out from the deck, or like adding the other cards to your hand, so that you can eventually go into synchros. One kind of like synergy I do want to talk about here is the synergy between cell phone and smartphone. What you can basically do is you can like put smartphone in defense, since it can special summon itself. And then you can basically like make sure your deck's like ordered in a way that like it makes it so that you can guarantee a special summon. And what you can also do is you can like look at your deck to see if you're going to be able to like get a special summon off of the cell phone. And if you are, you can go for the cell phone. And if you want, maybe go for a different morphtronic. Yeah. Yeah, and then scoping can like allows you to basically like, if you have a level 4 non-tuner, you can special summon that out and then go into that power tool dragon, which is nice. Slinging is nice because it destroys cards. This one also destroys cards. This one is kind of acts like a MST, which is nice. But it's kind of like a searchable MST, since you can search it off of the power tool dragon. And then map helps you to recur some of your monsters. Once destroyed, you can also destroy yourself using the Morphtronic Accelerator. And then some of these other cards are basically useful for like changing the battle positions of your monsters, since they have like different effects depending on whether they're in attack or defense position. And then bind can help stop your opponent, a lot of your opponent's monsters from being able to attack or change your battle positions. Interesting. And then there's the synchros. Livestream is nice to counter burn decks. Although I don't, although my opponent wasn't facing a burn deck, so it wasn't as useful. But it could be a nice it could be a nice side card, like if there's like for like burn deck metas, like if there's ever like a meta where there's like where the top deck maybe like consists of a lot of burn cards, or like some kind of FTK. If you can go into that, might be a nice play. Although it's really only useful if you're going first against a FTK burn deck. Anyway, here's the next set. So this one is a Blackwing deck, and Blackwings are pretty good for swarming the board, getting into the synchros quickly, because a lot of them like can be special summoned whenever you have another Blackwing on the field. So anyway, here's the cards if you want to get a better look at them. And then a few of them can special summon Blackwings from your grave. Yeah, here's one of them again that can special summon itself while you control the Blackwing. And then Colute is a way to give your Blackwings extra attack. for a surprise, like being able to destroy monsters by battle when that monster's attack is lower. When your monster's attack is lower. This is also kind of a way of like surprising your opponent. It ends up giving the monster less attack. Boy is another one that can special summon itself. Sure allows you to special summon a black wing from your deck whenever it destroys something by battle. He has a nice special summon effect. Sirocco has a nice level modulation effect that for getting over like really big boss monsters on your opponent's side of the field. And then a few of these like also like allow you to recur either black wings from your graveyard or like swap one black wing for another. Cards for Black Feather is a really nice draw spell. Black Whirlwind is one of the best one of the best spells for the deck because it allows you to like add like black wings from your deck to your hand, and it's not once per turn, so it doesn't have a once per turn. So if you're able to like do 2 normal summons, you can add another one. And if you have more than one of these on the field, you can add like multiple black wings that way as well. And then this one is pretty cool because it allows you to activate from the hand. As long as you meet the requirements. Ooh, this one is kind of a better Mirror Force since it banishes the opponent's monsters, and it's another one that allows it to activate itself from the hand. So this I'm not sure if people actually play this, but this does seem like a pretty good card. And then Close is another one that allows you to just activate from the hand, and I think this is one of those that people do actually use because you also get to special summon a black winged dragon from your X deck afterwards. And then here's the Synchro monsters. These Synchro monsters also like are able to like special summon other things from the graveyard too. So, and then Armed Wing inflicts piercing. Oh yeah, this one allows you to get an extra normal summon. So if you have Black Whirlwind on the field, you'll be able to trigger it again. Armor Master. I think the better one is the upgraded of this, the full Armor Master. I really like this one because it's unaffected by other cards' effects. That's what I really like about it. And it's got a really nice taking control of your opponent's monsters effect and like destroying all monsters on the field that have a wedge counter. And that's just each time an opponent's monster activates effect, you just place a wedge counter on it. So it's really easy to trigger either of those 2 other effects. This can special summon the Synchros from the graveyard, which is pretty nice. Although I don't think you can actually special summon the full Armor Master since it's unaffected by other cards' effects. And I'm pretty sure that counts for in the graveyard as well. But it can still special summon out most of the other cards. Most of the other Synchros. Although it doesn't like count as a Synchro summon, of course, so you won't be able to like trigger any Synchro summon base effects again. This one can destroy up to 2 of your opponent's monsters. Oh yeah, and this... Oh yeah, and like Blackwing's also kind of nice because like they have like a built-in like monster that can protect you from effect damage. So that might be a useful side option if you're going against a burn deck. Oh yeah, and then my opponent's playing a Synchron deck. It's a little bit of a different Synchron deck though. One that's more focused on like the junk Synchron aspect. Or I guess, yeah, no. More of a warrior Synchro based. Not exactly Synchron, just really focused on like, I don't know, going into some of these guys, the ones that call for tuner Synchro monsters and materials, and it's called Power of the Crimson Dragon. Oh yeah, and it's also got the majestic monsters that require you to use a, what are they? A majestic dragon's material, which is this guy. Yeah, CN. Special summon itself in the graveyard. This guy can recur your Stardust Dragon. Oh yeah, that's that mono Synchron again. So you have a few more level 2s that can special summon with the Junk Synchron. Although you don't have the Junk Speeder this time, which makes sense because you're not running as many, because my opponent's not running as many Synchrons. This one actually has reinforcement though. Star Blast. 1-for-1 can special summon the... Can be a way to either get out... Can be a way to get out any of these cards. So it gives you easy access to any of these. There's that Synchro chase again. Oh yeah, Starlight Road is kind of nice. It allows you to special summon a Stardust Dragon and negate a Mass Destruction card at the same time. Oh yeah, and a few of these are like useful specifically with the Stardust Dragon. And there's that Formula Synchron again. Stardust Dragon's isn't bad because it can negate an effect that will destroy your stuff and then like bring itself back after a little bit. Okay, let's go into the next one now. I think I'm gonna try going through the first 3 pairs of decks here and then I'll stop. Here we go. This one is called The Best Is Yet to Come. I think this is kind of like based off of like whoever that main character was in the Arc 5 anime. I think this is based off of his deck. So it basically includes a lot of the Magician Pendulum cards, but also a few of the Odd Eyes Pendulum cards as well. Basically, the whole point with this deck is like to try to get a nice scale going pretty early in the game, and you can make sure you have the right scale set up using various cards that can search for like your other cards. And then once you got a nice scale going up, you can like special summon a few like multiple monsters at once to like overwhelm your opponent, basically. And then you can also use the monsters that you summon to maybe go into your extract plays as well. Okay, so basically Odd Eyes Lock Pendulum Dragon, not bad, because its pendulum effect allows you to like special summon another Odd Eyes whenever one is destroyed. Of course, if they target it, this one, you might not be able to unless you have another one of these guys in Pendulum Stone, which wouldn't really be a good thing to do. But it does at least protect your Odd Eyes card that's in most likely main monster zone. Time Gazer Magician. This one is one of the ones that can search for another one of your magician pendulum monsters, so it can help set up your scale. Purple Poison is a pretty nice card because it allows you to destroy a face-up card on the field when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, and you have like and pendulum decks have like a few ways of being able to destroy their own stuff, so you can like pretty easily trigger it. Although this specific one here might not have as many, although I think it still does have a few ways. And then Supreme King Dragon Darkworm is a nice pendulum monster as well, because it's got a few ways of being able to special summon itself, like add specific scales from your deck to your hand, like these guys, which are pretty nice. Since this one is a scale 0, and this one is a scale 13, so these ones are good. These ones are pretty nice. Since this one like basically will help fulfill your if you have these two in the pendulum zone, you can't pendulum summon after you control a monster. But if you're like just starting out, these ones are pretty nice to have in the pendulum as like pendulum scale cards. Because you can go and like you can special summon any of your monsters, since now it goes from 1 to 12, which covers all the levels. But this one is actually cool, cause like it like covers your low level scale by being a scale 0. Which I don't think really matters since you're not really playing any level 1s. But it doesn't have the downside of like not allowing you to like pendulum summon if you have a monster. Oh yeah, and then the Stargazer. Oh wait, no, not that one. Chronograph is pretty nice. It allows you to add a Time Gazer to your hand. So basically, where's the Time Gazer? Or do I even have Time Gazer? I'm not. Oh, it's this one. It adds you this guy. And it's got a pretty nice pendulum scale of 8. So it basically adds you a scale 8, which isn't too bad. This one also searches for a pendulum. See, that's the thing about the pendulum deck. Like they pendulum decks do have quite a few searchers. Like even a lot of their monsters have searchers on them. Like this is another search. He can even destroy himself to do this search. And it's a pendulum. Wait, no, it has to be a Supreme King Dragon monster, so it has to be like on in your monster zone. This one is another search. This one is a fusion for them. This one's another search. See, they have so many searches. They have so many ways to search their cards. And the reason they do that is because you really want to be able to set up the right scale. And so having a lot of searches like can like pretty much ensure that you have the right scale numbers set up as quickly as possible. So that's basically the basis of this deck. And then the X deck plays are there for like the fusions are nice because you can like Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom is specifically nice because like he can like also be special summoned by attributing cards you control, which may not be that difficult if you like have like because like you can pendulum summon out multiple monsters. So that's also why like the going into the X deck plays shouldn't be that difficult either, because of that. And that is a way to like maybe like make sure that you like turn some of your like lower level guys who can be destroyed pretty easily into like higher level guys that can't be. And also what's nice is that when you go into your X deck plays, your pendulum monsters will just go into the face up X deck, allowing you to like pendulum summon them later on from there. And then my opponent's playing looks like they're playing Monarch kind of like a Monarch deck. But it's a pretty interesting Monarch deck. It's called Neo Revenge. It's not really playing all the standard Monarch cards. Like a few of these other cards are like meant to be able to like facilitate also meant to facilitate tribute summons. Like this one is meant to facilitate a water monster tribute summon, like the Mobius or the Mobius Mega Monarch tribute summon. Although more likely the Mobius Frost Monarch tribute summon. And then Esker can like potentially special summon himself. And then the Monarchs are there for like their pretty good effects. So like you can see those. This one sends 2 of your Monarch spells or traps from the deck to the graveyard. And I think there might be ways of getting them. Oh yeah, and then like some of the spells like require you to banish it, and one of the and to banish it and one like use your Monarch spells in the graveyard for like other effects. So like also I think some of them have like effects in the grave. You don't have a ton of Monarch spells or traps. Oh. So I guess it's mostly so that you have like a Monarch spell or trap in your graveyard to facilitate. Oh wait, no, you can banish this card and one Monarch spell or trap from your graveyard. Oh, so it's basically you send this and then one of your other Monarch spells or traps. Then you can basically get this like banishing effect to destroy a set card. And then also Dark Advance, it's saying allows you to tribute summon your opponent's turn. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's the 3 decks. So I think I'm going to end it there. And I'm going to go over verse real quick. Okay, so here it is, coming from YouVersion. And whatever you do in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Colossians 3:17, English Standard Version. So, it's saying like, whatever you do. So let's look at this verse. So whatever you do in word or deed, so that means like whether it be with your words or with your actions, make sure that like whether you're speaking something or doing something, that you're making sure that you're doing it to give thanks, and that you're doing it in the name of the Lord Jesus. So you basically don't want to be like doing anything that would not cause good for him. That it's either giving thanks or like it's like setting a good example to show that you're a good Christian. So you basically don't want to do things that would like be insulting to like others or be insulting to Jesus. That's basically what this verse is saying to me. And I do. So I make sure that I like do good things for Jesus. And I always like try to like think about it whenever I don't. And I always try to like remember to like ask for forgiveness whenever I do mess up. Anyway, if anyone would like to share some things that they do that are showing good for him, or like maybe like some ways you're able to like catch yourself and turn something that would have been bad into something like that, like praise him instead, you can feel free. I guess as one example for me would be to like whenever like basically whenever I like think about us, basically like keeping myself like from like getting too angry, like that's a good thing, that's a good example, I suppose. Because sometimes I am able to do that, so that's good. I think I've been getting a little bit better too. But anyway, I'll go ahead and go over the outro. Please like, share, and subscribe, considering that notification bell. And whatever you comment will be fine as long as it's family friendly. If you would like to ask for a prayer request, that's fine too. Or if you'd like to make it about the gameplay, or make it a simple emote, that's fine too. Okay, I'm gonna go into a pack opening now. To be honest, I wouldn't be honest. I did like a first take for the packs, but I noticed like I was spending a long time on it. So like I basically tried again with the decks, like doing the deck overviews over again, because I didn't want to spend as long. And so basically what I did was I thought to only go over the more important stuff, the more important cards. So I don't think that's what I did before, but I think it's a lot better when I like don't like look at every single card, like only looking at like the more important cards. You can let me know how you feel about that, but I think that helps make it quicker. Got a Magician of Faith is new, and it's also hollow. That's cool. Because I'm showing you the effects anyway with the card scroll. So that's the way I'm thinking about it. Because I think it's still good to do, like, to look at the decks, just not take a long time looking at them, is like what I'm thinking. I think my favorite card for the pack opening anyway is gonna be the Magician of Faith. Because it was pretty good when Flip Effects was still not bad. Like when the game was a lot slower, this was a pretty good card. Could add you like your really powerful spells back in the day. But yeah. I don't think there's really any good cards for nowadays. I think a lot of these cards aren't very useful. The Edmund High Magician might be kind of cool, but like that's another copy of it too, so now I have two. This one's kind of good. It like draws you a card, but I don't think Dragon Link plays that card. But I guess it could be a good kind of potential budget card. Just because you can get it from the Legacy Pack. Anyway, hopefully I see a lot of you in tomorrow's Let's Play video for Master Duel.